The cultural identity of Bengal is a difficult balance of multiple foreign cultures that has colonized this region repeatedly, resulting into a melting pot of multiculturalism even within the same homogeneous ethnic groups. Power struggle and ineffective communication between these groups has been a complicated discourse with a rise in polarization in recent times. The use of internet and social media has empowered the youth immensely to exploit unlimited information. Through video sites like YouTube to Ivy League massive open online courses, online learning is quickly becoming the new frontier of education. The open source learning environment is global and collaborative and has broad implications. On the other hand, social media has helped the youth to form active communities of like-minded people, sharing all sorts of art, music, photos, and also help causes. This story is about how youth are engaging with various cultural practices in a Bangladeshi context through the eyes of 6 individuals. They reflect on some of the underlying contexts of society, religion, as well as current technological transitions. Their insightful personal stories of how they got started paint a new picture of Bangladesh and the issues they face. They talk about their work, plans, and their approaches to doing things, allowing them to realize their passion. These communities are slowly adding to the cultural capital of Bangladesh in this globalized world. Young and bright Moni is a CG artist and learning the craft of animation. She is part of the successful Ognirot Studios and is also a member of Grapha, an online CG artist collective.
I didn't want to be stuck doing some kind of job as a clerk my whole life. When I wanted to work with digital art and animation, all kinds of cool stuff like games and whatnot. So I thought about it a lot, and I decided that it's not going to be easy because I knew I had to deal with the pressure from parents and whatnot because they expected me to do something conventional, you know. So definitely them knowing me pursuing this full time was not going to be easy. So I was like, okay, Moni, brace yourself because this is not going to be easy, but I'd rather be happy doing something that I like.
Was always on the lookout for this an avenue for artistic expression, and I thought that films could offer me that, and if this guy can do it, born and brought up in Madras, M. Night Shyamalan, and then he went on to work in Hollywood. If someone like him can do this, why not, I go out there and give it a shot, so.
Mizan sees the big picture as a young filmmaker and believes in the immense possibilities of films in Bangladesh. His DIY project became Mad Lungi Films and is currently aspiring to work on his first feature film.
Buy one particular style way too much and you keep using that mostly in every work that you do. There are the disadvantages of that are that you stop growing, because what I feel is that as a filmmaker, as someone who tells stories, visualizes them and presents them to the general public, you are supposed to be experimenting with different influences and styles of making films, because that is how you actually know where your strengths lie. Maybe when you do that, you actually come to realize the fact that you're pretty good at this kind of style, or you work better with Western influence films or Eastern influence films, or probably films of the local type.
Navid Kaiser is a talent in the making. His love for music and his enthusiasm transmuted him to a skilled electronic music producer in the span of a year. He is an active Dhaka electronica scene member who knows how to design dance floor thumping bass lines.
You might face a lot of restrictions, but it is possible to do something, to do what I'm doing, to do whatever you want to do. This is possible here. Originality pays, not only money, with a lot of things as well.
Rumman is one of the prominent new voices of the young generation, with his crude humor and unapologetic writings on a diverse range of subjects. He founded the first Bangladeshi humor site called Rantages and also works for Daily Star's youth supplement, The Shout.
It was a web development project for me, and it was a sort of a DIY thing. I had FAQs for technology and stuff like that for people who constantly call me, when you're good with computers, people always expect that you have some magic solution to whenever the computer breaks down. I had to vent somehow. So what I did was I made a blog section in my website and I wrote about Twilight. It was called Tui Fail, and it kind of went viral. At that time, not that many people were online back in 2009, but still it got pretty viral, and that was motivation enough for me to go on with it.
Self-motivated and creative, Abdul Naim defied all the odds, becoming a mud architect without having formal architectural education. He runs his own business, Tree, and have professional background of being a landscape artist.
আমি স্ট্রাকচার বুঝতাম না, সেটা বোঝার চেষ্টা করলাম। আর্কিটেকচারের অনেক কিছু বুঝতাম না, সেটা বোঝার চেষ্টা করলাম। হিস্ট্রিক্যাল অনেক কিছু জানতাম না, সেটা জানার চেষ্টা করলাম। ফিলোসফিক্যাল অনেক কিছু বুঝতাম না, সেটা বোঝার চেষ্টা করলাম। আমার ব্যাকগ্রাউন্ড কিন্তু ইন্টারমিডিয়েট। আচ্ছা, তারপরে ইন্টারমিডিয়েটের পরে আমি কিন্তু এগুলো প্র্যাকটিস করছি। আমি তার এডুকেশনাল কোনো ইয়েতে নাই, জাস্ট ফিল্ডে প্র্যাকটিস করে করে শেখা। শুধু ঢাকাটা তো আর বাংলাদেশ না। আমরা বলি জমি নাই, একটু জমি নাই, থাকার জায়গা নাই, কিন্তু আসলে কি বাংলাদেশে জমি নাই? তাই বাংলাদেশে কিন্তু অনেক জমি, কিন্তু একটা কেন্দ্র ধরে হয়ে গেছে, ঢাকা কেন্দ্রিক। তো ঢাকার বাইরে যদি আমরা যাই, আমাদের অনেক অপরচুনিটি, আমাদের মাটির কোনো অভাব নেই, আমাদের জাস্ট টেকনিকটা লোকাল মানুষদেরকে শেয়ার করে দেয়া যে এইটা দিয়ে এই সম্ভব, এটা দিয়ে এই সম্ভব। আমি বিভিন্ন সোর্সের মাধ্যমে, বিভিন্ন আর্কিটেক্টদের মাধ্যমে আমি জানতাম যে পৃথিবীর অমুক জায়গায় এই জিনিসটা হয়েছে, এটা নতুন একটা ক্রিয়েশন। তখন আমি দেখাইতাম যে দেখেন তো এই ক্রিয়েশনটা মেলে কিনা। তখন বলে হ্যাঁ, তোমার এইটাই তো এইটা। তো বললে তখন সবাই বলে যে তুমি কেন ইন্টারনেটের হেল্প নেও না, তুমি কেন টেকনোলজিতে যাও না, তুমি কেন একটা করো, ওয়েবসাইট করো না। তারপরে আমার ডিসিশন আসছে যে না, এবার আসলে জানানো উচিত। যারা হাঁড়ি পাতিল বানায় ওরা কিন্তু সবচেয়ে ভালো মাটি চেনে, ওদের কিন্তু এডুকেশনাল ব্যাকগ্রাউন্ড নেই, ওরা আর্কিটেকচারও পড়েনি, ওরা আর্কিটেকচারে কোনো মাস্টার্সও করিনি বা গ্রাজুয়েট না, কিছুই না, কিন্তু ওদের চেয়ে মাটি আমিও ভালো চিনি না। ওরা চেনে কিন্তু ফিল করে। এশিয়ার থেকেই আর্কিটেকচারটা পৃথিবীতে ছড়ায় আছে। সো আমি মনে করি যে আমাদের দেশে এই আর্কিটেকচার প্র্যাকটিস করে আর্কিটেকচারে অনেক বড় কিছু ঘটানো সম্ভব।
Navid Mahbub is a computer engineer turned full-time comedian and is the founder of Navid's Comedy Club, an open platform for Bangladeshi comedy.
The thing as a karma, and karma, I'm not kidding you. My karma is that my daytime job as an engineer has just been outsourced off to India.
Comedy is not just entertainment. Of course, there's a huge entertainment value, but it also is a great vehicle to deliver the truth. When you're doing comedy in a non-offensive fashion, you have a very receptive audience. And when you have so many people attentively listening to you, you actually have the advantage of telling them something that can influence them positively. Thing that a lot of people don't know about stand-up comedy is that it's not about telling jokes. It's about telling your own story and your observations. Just like when we hang out with friends, we don't say two men walking down the street. We say, today I was interviewing this guy wearing a red t-shirt and such happened, and they laugh. And sometimes you exaggerate, but it's still based on facts. So that's called stand-up comedy. So when we do comedy over here in Dhaka or in Bangladesh, the style is still the same. The comedians are talking about their experiences, their observations, but at the same time, comedians need to make sure that what they're talking about relates to the audience. And that is universal everywhere, no matter what language you're speaking, no matter which country you're in, but it's the same common denominator, meaning you are talking about your own observations, your own experiences, and you're talking about things which the audience relates to. Example is that if I talk about interstate highway in Los Angeles to an audience in Dhaka, they may understand, they may laugh, but they will not relate to the story. But if a comedian in Dhaka talks about the traffic jam in Dhaka, now the crowd is going to love it because they are also victims or they are also experiencing this traffic jam. So now the topic is relatable. Culturally, we like to have fun. We like to laugh. We have humor, comedy in our culture. It's been there for hundreds, thousands of years. The emperors had court jesters. So I had no doubt that people would not accept it. They've accepted it very well. And the thing is, again, we talk about things that they relate to. And as long as we do that without being offensive, without hurting anybody, without insulting anybody, if you do it in a very clever yet a non-offensive way, there's no reason they will not accept it.
For long, the popular culture of the country has been pegged to singular personalities like Tagore and Nazrul. The political cultural polarity has further been responsible for lack of innovation and growth. The power of the internet is still in need of proper harnessing by most Bangladeshis.
It was quite tough doing this because I had to fight with all the negativity coming from that. And it's not really easy doing this when your parents wholeheartedly want you to get a degree and go to university and stuff. I mean, all my friends are already in university and I'm doing this. So that was tough, but I believe that it was worth it because this is who I am.
I would say we're past the generation of buying CDs, album বের করা এগুলো সময় পাস হয়ে গেছে now it's all on the web. Now we can, because that's the only medium we have, that's the only medium we need because it's free. That's why it's easier and it's very important.
We created this marketing team and we had this project. We're going to make Randages famous through Facebook. We're going to promote the page, we're going to post activity on the page, and we're going to make it funny, and we're going to tell people that what we are crude humor, and we are producing crude humor, and that eta manush jana lagbe. So that's what we started doing.
Architect is social work. কিন্তু আমাদের দেশে এটা উঠে গেছে। আর্কিটেক্ট মানেই বড় বড় প্রজেক্ট করব, আর্কিটেক্ট মানে আমি অনেক টাকা পয়সার মালিক হব, আর্কিটেক্ট মানে আমি অনেক ওয়ার্ল্ডের বিভিন্ন ডিজাইন কপি করব।
Yet, the DIY culture in Dhaka is trending as more and more people are pursuing their passion, from food reviews to hip-hop communities and everything in between. The rising number of internet users in time of demographic dividend can do wonders by itself.
It's like an amalgam of things, mixture of Western views and our local cultures. Because the entire world is turning into one huge circle jerk of cultures.
Being a Bangladeshi and not really having a very recognizable pop culture that belongs to our part of the region, I want my style to be a kind of, something that's more local. Something that when someone sees it, they can say that, okay, it's not really American, it's not really Japanese, it's something else. And it's something maybe that's from the, south, from Bangladesh or something like that. So that's something that I'm striving for, actually.
Not only over here, also overseas. I have done comedy at Islamic congregations, conferences, at mosques. We've done comedy at churches, at synagogues, at temples. And even over here, the thing is that our religion, or no religion for that matter, is so harsh that it says you cannot laugh.
Religiously speaking, I don't really have any religious influence in my works. It's not something that really influenced me on a regular basis. And I haven't had any trouble regarding that, particularly because most of the people who see my work, they're internet savvy people. And most of them tend to not really care about this stuff too much.
Only constant thing about life is change. Traditional Bangladesh or culture is great. What's modern is also great. It is just a transition, and it is just a change in the very dynamic nature of human being. So a lot of people say that things were great in the past, they're not so great now. I tend to disagree. I just say that things were great in the past, they're also great now. It's just different and a lot of new things. We didn't have Facebook 40 years ago. We have Facebook now. Now, is that bad? No, absolutely not. It has empowered people.
YouTube every filmmaker's essential tool these days. I mean, that's where you have tutorials on editing, on color grading, and where you can watch a wide array of short films to take inspiration from.
Electronic music connected us with a lot of international artists, which we have collaborated in Bangladesh. If there was a physical, actual establishment, so that it encouraged people, kids, children, to pursue this career.
It has taken time for cricketers to be fully professional. Well, they have always been professional, but for the society to accept the fact that they can actually make a living out of it. Same goes with actors, singers.
In Dhaka's concrete jungle, which lacks green spaces and fields to play, the internet provides unbound creative space.
There is a shade of my own personality, I believe, and it shows there. So this is the reason I make films, because I get to actually experiment with myself that way.
We actually have a platform called Open Mic. Means anybody can come on stage and try out comedy.
জেনারেশন নতুন যারা, তারা আর্ট রিলেটেড হোক, আর্কিটেকচার হোক, আর্কিটেকচার হোক, ফাইন আর্টস হোক, যেই লাইনে আসতে পারে, আসলে ক্রিয়েটিভিটি সবার মাঝে আছে, কেউ চর্চা করে, কেউ করে না।
Characters in films are played by humans, and films are a reflection of real life. They reflect real incidents, real things, real stories.
We need to bring in our own local music to this scene so that we can call this our own.
If there's something that you really like, something that you really want to do, then do it. You know, don't let other people stop you from being who you are, stop you from doing what you want to do. As for how good or bad you are, a lot of times I see this, that people keep saying, oh, you know, I like to draw, but I'm not good, so maybe I should not do it. No, you should. If you feel you're not good, it's okay. If you love drawing, you should definitely do it. Because improvement comes with dedication, time, and practice.
But the thing is that in life, there are three things that people engage in. One is what you like to do. One is what brings food to your table. And the third is what you're good at. Now, if you can merge all these three things together, that means you're good at something, that's your livelihood, and you love doing it.
While internet is the gateway to one great nation, we can only hope this does not become our Achilles heel, making us bleed with mindless consumerism and neo-imperialistic propagandas. Can we ensure the environment required for innovation? Could we possibly relearn our history at a national sphere? Can we start trusting and respecting the differences and translate that into a source of energy?
For us, dating you's gonna help us to pretend that we're hot cost. Bleach your skin, line a mustache. Now L'Oreal are coming in on the march. They can smell the cash to be made in vain. Middle class Asians who just love to bathe. Arty, farty, you will become poor. Eat, baba, eat, in the kitchen there is more. Degree, hang it on the wall. Put you to this bloody country, what happened to your hymen, better be intact. Papa done preach, now I'm finding the fact. Acha, hymen is intact. I never used a tampon, really that's a fact. Brown on the outside, white on the inside. You're just a coconut that turned into a bounty. Brown on the outside, white on the inside. You're just a pocky, but you're cool on the flip side. Brown on the outside, white on the inside. You're just a coconut that turned into a bounty. Brown on the outside, white on the inside. You think a curry, but you're cool on the